morning, Mr. Mano.
Hi, good morning. Kumaran, good morning.
Pleasure to connect with you, sir, and thank you so much for your time to being part of the Your Voice, Your Legacy session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to this session.
And
thank you so much for connecting me.
It's likewise, sir. So we would love to hear more about you, Mr. Mano, and what you do, your role, your narrative in the insurance industry. And we all know that you are the Chief Distribution Officer at GGI Nippon, Myanmar. So how did your entire career start? And
Yeah, thanks, Kumaran. Thanks, Kumaran. It's a long story. It has been almost 32 years now, 32 years now in this industry. Honestly speaking, joining insurance industry was not a choice. It is a chance. And many of us in our career, we do not choose the career by a choice. It comes to by a chance. Then finally, you love that industry, you love the atmosphere, love working there. Then you make that industry or that work your choice. So similar things also came to me. Maybe long back, I was, after my education, I was working for a pharmaceutical company in India. The biggest insurance company was LIC of India. And LIC was recruiting every year around 200 to 250 management trainees. They call them assistant administrative officers. The designation was assistant administrative officer. And they used to recruit them through a very rigorous process of written exam, then viva, then group discussion, all these things. And I applied that way back in 1990. When around 500,000 people applied for that position in India, and finally they selected 250, and I was lucky to be in that 250 from 500,000 applicants that year, and they do it every year. They do it, and I joined as assistant administrative officer, and then they have a rigorous training program. I undergone classroom training for 9 months. 9 months classroom training in insurance. Somebody will listen today, they'll amaze. They don't believe that any organization can give their management trainees a 9 months training program before they put them into real work field. First 3 months is a classroom training. Then you go to a branch office to understand the insurance, actually what has been learned in the classroom and what is exactly happening there. Then you have to make some project reports, then come back to the training center again, and then another 15 days go to the branch. So entire process takes around 9 months time. After 9 months, they put you into a particular department in a branch. So if today I tell somebody that I have undergone 9 months of insurance training before I finally went into the on job, people don't believe, because today no organization has the time to give 9 months to groom their people. So that was the foundation. I was always look at that as my foundation of 9 months. Insurance training was my foundation, where they teach everything, including actuarials, basics of actuarials, everything. That's for 9 months. Then was posted to a branch as an administrative officer, looking at the administration part, not sales. Looking claims, accounts, other things in a branch office, where the entire administrative function was reporting to me, and sales function was reporting to the branch manager. Was there. 1 year spent there. Then the company posted me as a programmer. They have the rotation system. I've never seen a computer earlier. Before they posted me as a programmer, I have never seen a computer in my life. So they posted me as a programmer. Then I learned programming language through them only. That time we are doing Unix and COBOL, which is COBOL programming language, Unix operating system, then spool drives. These are all dinosaurs now at this time. So there worked for around 2.5 years. 2.5 years as a programmer, write down so many programs. That also gave me a lot of understanding about every parts of this insurance business. Because when I was writing a program for claims, for policy servicing, for commissions, for sales, then I have to understand each tit and bits of the nuances of this entire process so that I can write a program correctly to get the desired output. So that also added a lot of understanding to me as far the insurance processes are concerned. In case of your sales, not only in sales, but also in service areas, claims areas, customer service, all these areas. So that gives me a very broad outlook of what are the different steps happens in an insurance business. Then they posted me as a branch manager. Branch manager is the branch manager that time was a who was to manage a branch of around 100 employees, around say 2,000 to 3,000 agents, and you are the 3,000 agents, and you are the branch manager, you are the profit center. And in LIC culture, that culture, branch is the profit center. So every branch has to prepare their trial balance. Every branch has to prepare their P&L. So every branch has to create their surplus. So you earn, you spend, you send surplus. That was the whole work of the insurance branch at that time.
Right.
Now also they follow that practice. So I worked there for around 7 years. So that time in India, there's only one insurance company, LIC, and in 2000, this insurance industry opened up in India, and all foreign insurance companies came back to India. Then when 2000 foreign insurance companies, they had a JV in India, they joined, okay. Then I thought this is the right time to move around and see that what I have learned over the years, can I contribute to this newly developing insurance industry in India, newly developing insurance industry. So 2001, I joined Allianz. Allianz, I joined as a branch manager to develop a particular state where that was the first private life insurance company I brought to that state in India. Because everybody knows about LIC only earlier. But that time, that was the first time when that was a great challenge. And also then, because, you know, when I told people that if there is Allianz who is going to sell life insurance, tied up with Bajaj scooter is very much known in Indian market. So people don't believe that whether, who can else sell insurance other than LIC? LIC can be the only organization can sell insurance. They don't know that. Then fighting people also was a problem. So there are a lot of challenges, and that is the first company. That was the journey started. Then that branch was very well established with around 40 sales managers. Within a period of 3 months' time, I created around more than 500 agents and active agents and all that. Then that way, my private insurance journey started from
right.
And after 3 years, after 2 years, I was given another branch to set up in another city. After that, Allianz told me to go to a northern part of the India to set up their zone and all that. When I went there was 7 branches. In 3 years' time, 4 years' time, I could open up around 187 branches from 7 branches there. Yeah. So we are on an expansion mood in the northern region. And then I left that company and joined Reliance, which was another, as a national sales head, right. as the CDO of Reliance. After 2 years' time, then Nippon Life get a stake in that company. I was a part of the due diligence team right. of the joint venture, which is happening between Nippon Life and Reliance. Then gradually we brought up a lot of activities, a lot of new plans, a lot of new practices of Nippon Life to Indian market. We created one of the largest life insurance companies in India, having more than 150,000 agents, having 1,200 branches. Then my team at that time was around, say, 18,000 on-roll employees. On-roll employees was 18,000 on-roll employees. So that was what's going on. We became the number 1 company in Indian market with number of policies, profitability. So gradually grooming the systems and everything happened out there. Then my journey again, have a time. Then I just for a short time, I left Reliance Nippon Life and I joined as a consultant with AXA, Bharti AXA in India itself. They asked me to be join them. For three things, they were trying to look at me as a strategical initiative and all that. How to grow the new business, how to increase the persistency, and how to control the cost.
Right.
So these are the three things I got a mandate from AXA to look at the Indian operations on the three areas. So I was working there. That time, Nippon Life was opening an office in branches, business in Cambodia. So they told me that you are a startup specialist. So I know the director of Nippon Life that time. He always told me, you are a startup specialist. You are an insurance startup specialist. Yeah. You have experience of building up companies from scratch. Because in our Nippon Life, we have never seen startups because we are all joint company when company is already 60, 70, 80 years old. So you join in Cambodia and come to Cambodia and built up this company. They had a CEO in Cambodia. So I joined their advisor to their board, but it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job. And the designation was advisor to the board, but I have to do all the distribution, marketing, publicity, regulatory, everything, and guiding the CEO to do the business. There I worked for 2 years period in that market, Cambodian market. And then when this Myanmar market was a very, market which was not opened up the insurance industry earlier. So in 2019, when this industry market opened up to insurance industry, foreign companies came here. Nippon Life also joined this company. So they asked me to join here to start up the business here in Myanmar market. So that's why I ended up in Myanmar. So that's my whole story of last 32 years in a nutshell. It cannot be spoken in that way. Wow. But this all journey happened around my insurance career.
Well, thank you so much for that, Mr. Mano. It all seems to point down to one direction. And I like that word, startup specialist. To have that true form.
Yeah, I have seen Kumaran, that there are many managers. Either they are a building manager or they are a startup manager. As a maintenance manager or a building manager. So you make a company stable, give it to somebody, they can manage that company. There's a maintenance manager. So there are building managers who can start managing the company start building the company from nowhere. I know in Allianz, when they start the company in my state, I have to take the computer from my house, my own computer. There is no place to sit. Right. We have some plastic chairs and took my own computer and started working there. So we know what are the things. So I can't tell myself I'm a startup specialist of insurance industry.
In all sense and truth and honesty of the word, it is very true, Mr. Mano. It takes so much of guts to get into markets first. And for that to have the infrastructure to be built, the ecosystems to be built, the community to be built. And we know for a fact, the insurance business is so resistant to change and acceptance. Do you face that challenge now as well, Mr. Mano? When you moved into, because I do understand that Myanmar is pretty new with the start of the insurance industry, 2019. That's when most of the major companies came into play. And I'm sure that wasn't much of a concern for you, given the fact that you started with 7 branches in your state and then suddenly moved to 100 plus. But how was that as a challenge for you, coming into Myanmar, taking on this role as distribution officer with your experiences that you have had over the past 30 years?
You see, there is always a challenge here in this market, but with the challenge lies the opportunities. With the challenge I see, here lies the opportunity. 2 things I can tell you, that insurance is a very new subject here, new subject here. So why insurance is the most important thing to address to the people, that why insurance?
Yes.
Why you should do insurance? Because they have not seen this market, seen insurance. But the flip side is that so many insurance companies came here at one point of time. 100% insurance company, AI8, all these people, big players are here, joint venture local companies are here. So there is a lot of talk around in the market, for the insurance, and people are seeing insurance as a sunrise industry for employment rather than, I'm not talking of, can I take this call? Okay. So what happened now? This is why insurance is one of the biggest challenge here. There are two parts into that. One part is how to build your setup. Other part is how to connect with other people. Now, there are two parts into that. If I look at building the setup, the resources which you require to build an insurance business here, man, money, machine, material, the four M's. Sorry, it's dark now. I don't know why. Can you see me now?
I can see you now. I can see.
Yeah. Actually, the electricity has gone. So what happened now? These are the four things is required. No? Four M's to build up a company: man, money, machine, and material. This is not a problem because people see as a sunrise industry, and people see a lot of foreign companies coming to this place, insurance industry. So getting all these things is not a problem. We can get people in the market. The challenge here is that how to train these people and groom these people for insurance. Two parts into that again. That one is the insurance services part, and one is the insurance sales part. So as you know, insurance sales is one of the most difficult sales in this world. No? So you can sell a refrigerator to an Eskimo, but insurance sales is very difficult. So how to groom people to sell insurance is the real challenge. So training part, getting people, right people, and training part is a challenge. And gradually addressing that with our experience and knowledge. But the other part is go-to-market part. When you think of go-to-market, how to convince people about insurance, how to sell insurance in this market.
The public awareness more like.
Yeah, awareness, how to, you see, when you go to sell insurance in a market, you get three objections, like why insurance, why from your company, and why this product. These are the basic three objections you get in the market. So addressing the first objection, that is why insurance, is the biggest challenge. People, and this market is also not very well developed as for the other investment opportunities like equity market, portfolio market, or mutual fund market. These are not here. It's only bank deposit or your real estate or gold, or these are the only investment opportunities here in this market. Along with that, the inflation is also very high. So how to adjust to the people that how to take an insurance for them is a challenge. How to convince them that why insurance is a challenge. So that is the biggest challenge here. Right. And insurance is always a long-term product. So selling a long-term product to a new market is a challenge. So these are all the challenges. Now, getting people, train them for the insurance. Maybe after 10 years, you don't have that problem. The market will have many of such. But this time, it is the problem. That is a challenge, that how to get right people and train them with right mindset for insurance and the insurance industry, products, services, sales. The other side is that how to convince these your prospects that you need a long-term life insurance product for yourself, how to convince them that insurance is nothing but a risk management. How to convince them that insurance, you are not investing. It's a risk management. How to convince them.
Right.
So these are the two things, initial stages in a new market it works.
I get you very strongly on that, Mr. Mano, and it is very challenging. It brings me to my own personal story when I was in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi more than 12 years ago. And I was teaching financial literacy to the kids and the college people there and one of the universities. And back then, Vietnam was still very new into the scene of what insurance is all about. And you were right, they were still very much into gold-based assets, land, crops, and all these different things made sense to them. But insurance, it was a new word. The whole concept of wealth management was absolutely new. So an interesting thing that I did was I started working with the university students to them being ambassadors of financial literacy.
Correct.
So it starts on that angle there. And good thing to note is that the younger generation are so much more malleable, so much more influenced by concepts which are new to them in terms of wealth creation. So I do see that Myanmar is going in that direction. It's only been a few years since the companies came in. And I think, as you rightfully said, training, ecosystems, communities can be built.
Yes. They should see the community has to be developed. Everybody has to see that. You see, before 2019, the insurance industry was here in 2013, since 2013. But they are local companies. They are saying local products. Most products are 1 year kind of term products, like snake bite products, sportsman insurance products. So farmer life products. So farmers, they take this. They are 1 year term kind of products. And there is no distribution developed here, because insurance awareness grows where there is a very strong distribution network.
Yes.
Only when my agent talks to 10 people every day, and I have 1,000 agents, so 10 into 1,000 people know your company, know your product, all this. So there is no distribution here at all. That's a very typical thing. The regulator used to appoint agents, and the agents can sell everybody's product. Earlier, from 2019, earlier. There are some 13, 14 insurance companies are here. That is the regulator decide the product, everybody will sell that product. Regulator decide the distributor, the distributor can sell for everybody. So distribution was not developed. When distribution was not developed, awareness was done. Awareness was not developed. So now the situation is different. Now the situation is, there are so many companies, they're creating their own distributions. Now the agents are created in this market. Every agent, if he talks to even 2 people every day about their company and insurance, at least people are hearing insurance, life insurance in the market. So the awareness is going up. Competition is healthy. The competition is, I'm not worried about the competition who is doing what, because it also gives you a lot of opportunities to expand the market, and it makes your work also easy.
That's great, Mr. Mano. I think you have that so lovely explained, that the fact that competition does not really matter. It goes about in the awareness being up there, because then that in turn creates a very organic flow back to the companies in that.
Exactly. People see, suppose other companies creating MDRTs, I can say my people that you see, this you have a community, you have role models, you have examples.
Yes, exactly.
So you have all these things are there with you when there is a competition. You have everything in front of you. This market was not developed earlier because they didn't have all these things. They didn't have community. They didn't have examples. They didn't have role models.
Yes.
They didn't have. Now there are 500% subsidiary companies. Now there are 3 joint venture companies. So there are local companies out there. So everything put together, the community has been developed. All these things has been developed. So now it is one of the, it's good for everybody. It's good for everybody.
That's right. Both for the agency force distribution, as well as the consumers or the customers. The public.
Customers awareness, agency force, the entire ecosystem is developing. Maybe 4 years, 5 years down the line, you find a lot of talents around here.
That's true.
Across the companies. You can find a lot of talents.
That's where the engagement, the agents are looking at MDRT as a yardstick is going to go down naturally towards it. Mr. Mano, I've got a question here. In terms of what you are doing now in your current role as distribution officer, what are you doing which is so unique and interesting? Because I do follow your posts very regularly. I see that you follow 2 very much ethics into sports and building the community spirit and culture very strongly. How does that reflect in your team in GGI Nippon as well?
You see, I look at in a new market when I am here. I tell my people, I'm here I'm doing a job of enriching your knowledge. What I have learned over the last 30 years, I want to give you that knowledge. So that this is my first objective is that. Who is working with me in my sales team, admin team, operation teams, they are very new people, young people. one thing is that I want to give you whatever I have learned over the years, what I have walked the path. I want to tell you that how the path I walked, and you have to gain that experience and put it into work. That is my role is as a teacher role. My role is mainly as a teaching role, as a teacher role in this new market. Then second is when you are creating the distributions, I have been a distribution product and marketing head. I look at the distributions, how to create a strong, robust, profitable and sustainable distribution. There are many parameters play into that. We look at the productivity part, we look at the attrition part, I look at the retention part. All these things are very, very small things. I don't want to go into details into that, but I give the vision to the people that it's a sunrise industry you are working with. Lot of times to go, and insurance is always a one-way traffic. I have seen. You have also, Kumaran, seen. Your mother is working same company for last 35 years. I'm in the same industry for last 32 years. So I tell these people that insurance is such a lovely industry, for a people-driven industry. It's people-connected industry.
Yes.
So that you always try to see that that you come to this industry and always stick to this industry. I have seen very few people who have joined insurance industry and they have left this industry after working for 5 to 10 years period. If you are working for 10 years here, you continue to work in this.
That's right. That's so true.
So,
that point.
So give that vision to them. Third point is that this knowledge and skill part is, of course, knowledge and skill which I give to them. What you talk about my sports activities and all that, I always feel that in a insurance business, it's a retail oriented. The retail business. So retail business, you will be successful if you are energetic. Energy is very infectious.
Yes.
Energy is very infectious. If you are not energetic, you cannot succeed.
Absolutely.
People will not. People will, two things will come to you when you interact with people is your confidence and your smile and your energy.
Absolutely.
So you have to always wear that confidence, that smile, that energy to be successful in this industry, whatever you do, wherever industry you do, and more so in the insurance industry because it's more retail oriented. No? So I myself is a long distance runner. I run around 200 kilometers a month, over 20-25 days every month. I run. They go to gym, try to make myself fit. The young people. So I also talk that culture to them. And when I travel to different places, I call these people to come with me for a morning walk, a run or whatever was there. Then try to put them some culture of fitness which can turn into energy, which can turn into their confidence, which can turn into their smiles in their faces, which can ultimately help them in doing their business better, as a human being better. Business is a side effect. If an outcome, if you are developing as a leader, then your outcome will be your business will be your outcome.
Yes.
But as a fit person, energetic person, skilled person, knowledgeable person, having always wearing a smile and confidence on your face, which is very infectious to your people, ultimately the good results will come. This is bound to come. So that I try to build the people who are here around me.
Mr. Mano, that's amazing. It's the first time I'm hearing a distribution person, a distribution head, who takes on the role of a mentor. I see this as a coach mentorship kind of program that you are imparting to the community as well. And it's so important, Mr. Mano. I agree with you. The physical aspect in this industry, in this business, the fitness aspect, nutrition even, is
absolutely
so important. Because as a distributor myself in the earlier days, I was going for 7-8 appointments a day, 12, 13-hour days. I never took care of my health or my physical fitness or my nutrition. And no matter how successful you are materially or in terms of your KPIs, your health just dipped down tremendously.
Correct.
I mean, I really kudos and I'm grateful to you to bringing that element.
Kumar, I tell you one thing that you are a public person. I'm a public person. I spend maximum time of my day in meeting people, either customers or partners, or my employees, or my bosses, everybody. I should be looked every time fresh. I should be looked every time energetic.
Yes.
That I try to do. See, as a distribution head, business, setting up a distribution, getting the business, getting the numbers of the company, getting the target of the company, all these KPIs are always, I see, are outcomes. These are outcomes of if you have very strong foundation built on some ethics and built on people's orientation. So my role is a mentor and coach role. That coaching is not only how to sell insurance, how to sell insurance and how to insurance knowledge, but on 360-degree development of the people. So
I agree with you, Mr. Mano.
I try to develop my downline. I tell them to develop their downline. So this goes like that. As small things I tell you. This market is a market where English speaking is very low. People are more in the local language. Many of our new recruits, many of the people, they don't speak English. But I always tell them that, you see, now it's okay that we're managing without speaking English. But going forward, in 5 years down the line, if you do not have a good communication in English, writing or speaking, then you will be left behind. You will be left behind in the race because the world is moving in that direction. And it's like that. So what I introduce in my training classes, in my induction training, when I recruit sales managers or other salespeople, I have a 3 weeks induction training program, 7 hours.
Thank God it's not 9 months, Mr. Mano.
Not 9 months. Nobody has this practice. Nobody has the patience. Yes. So I have a 3 weeks induction program, and in the 3 weeks induction program, I have introduced one English newspaper reading session. That everybody will come. They read a paragraph in the newspaper in English and explain to the audience. So that practice I started using half an hour every day at the end. English newspaper reading session and comprehension of English newspaper. So what I have understood that my leaders also started practicing that with their team. I do in the induction session. They understood that is really important. Once doing in the induction is not going to help everybody.
Yes.
So yesterday I went to Mandalay. Mandalay is another city. There I went to that place. I saw my bank regional manager. He's doing the same thing with her team.
Right.
Every Friday, she had a 1 hour English class training session with them.
Wow.
So you have to look at your people and overall 360-degree improvement rather than only focusing on business.
I agree. Yeah.
I always look at that angle, how to create. As a leader, my job is to create leaders.
Yes.
Then my job becomes easy.
Sure.
I look at this thing, Kumaran. Hire better people than you, so that your job becomes easy.
And Mr. Mano, I completely agree with you on that. But that is such a legacy that you are leaving for them. It's a practice. Can you imagine, Mr. Mano? And that's what I feel, which is such a beautiful, noble profession that we are in. If I might just see this, and I can picture it when you're telling it to me, right? Induction program, a paragraph in English, which is then understood, comprehended, and explained. That has then moved into the practice of where the leaders are doing it. The leaders then move into where your branch managers are doing it. Now you just imagine, Mr. Mano, that your own distributors, your agents, teach this to their clients. And the clients in turn teach this to their children. You know,
absolutely. It's a cascading effect. It's always a cascading effect.
Yes.
It's always, everybody understands that sun rises in the east.
Yes.
But again, they have to read a book to know that also happens. No? So there are certain truths, everybody understands that. Yes. But how to make it a practice? I know that as all of us have done that. I started running at the age of 40, 45. Before that, as you, Kumaran, rightly told, we have a very bad habits. I was traveling a lot, touring a lot of pressures on the head, as far as your business is concerned, target is concerned, output is concerned,
Right.
you are all banging, late night parties, late night dinners, late night meetings with the people. But some part of time, understand this is not going to help me for long. I cannot stand there long.
Right.
Then you have to understand that how to make that ecosystem work. No, I believe in one thing, that is, I always give the people the example of mango tree. Mango tree example. Mango tree is a tree. Mango tree, if you see, first 5-7 years, 5 years at least, you have to just build the mango tree, and after five years period, when the fruiting starts, you don't have to do anything for the mango tree. Neither you have to do manure, nor you have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. And every year, the mango tree gives you fruiting. Yes. Every year, if you look at a mango tree, 3 to 5 years period, they start to grow. And after that, you don't have to do anything for that. They go on giving you fruiting every year. So that's the system you need to build up. Your agency team or your sales distribution team should work like a mango tree. You take time to build them up. After that, it will be auto mode. They will be developing in auto mode. That auto mode will happen when you try to develop them 360 degrees. Not only one aspect of business. When I visit the agents' places, I regularly go to the agents' places when I get time. Earlier days, when I was in a lower role, lower cadre, like even regional manager, zonal manager level, I used to visit agents' places and try to interact with their family, try to understand from them that what is their motivation, they're able to be an agent, and what is their aspiration, and what they're looking for them. Because I have seen this insurance business is also a legacy business. It's a family business.
Yes.
The father started, the grandfather started, father did it, son also doing this insurance business. Many countries, many good people have done. So I need to connect with the people. So one of my strengths, I can see that I connect with the people well. So I can see, I can transfer my thoughts to them well. I think in that way. So I visit a lot of agents' places because I always want to be connected to the ground. Want to be connected to the ground. As a distribution head, your visibility is very important. You should be visible to your last mile. It's not sitting at the boardroom or the head office. Your visibility to the last mile is important. Whether here I understand this language or do not understand this language, it hardly matters to me. But I connect to the last. I try to connect to the last mile. At least they understand my intention. I understand their intention.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Mano, I honestly tell you, I am so honored to have this session with you. It really opens the minds up, and I'm sure for the audience as well, they are looking at various angles. You see, Mr. Mano, in terms of the collective, we look at agency leaders, we look at financial consultants, and I've been asked these questions, right? Why are we not featuring just financial consultants and agency leaders? Why, Kumaran, are you featuring the distribution people, the compliance people, or the recruitment people? My answer to that is that there are so many facets in this ecosystem called insurance.
Absolutely.
And we have to understand the roles that everyone plays to make this a beautiful, noble industry. And today, I think that has been the testament to it. My session with you today brings that out, because the role of a distribution officer is what you had mentioned, being visible. These are such key important things, even right to the distributor, being visible for your client.
Correct. Absolutely. As you rightly told, Kumaran, that why your compliance people, why your operation people, these people, sales people, you see, every salesperson is a 360-degree insurance person. He knows compliance. He should know compliance. He should know what are the compliance issues.
Absolutely.
He should know what are the service issues. He should know when the claims can be paid. What is the process for the claims payment. He is a 360-degree insurance person. He is not only a sales guy. Bang, go on, sell. Don't know what is the AML guideline. Don't know what is your compliance will happen. don't know what is the underwriting processes,
Yes.
do not know what is the service processes, when the claims will be paid, when the surrenders will be done, how the loan facility. So a salesperson, I think what you are saying is right, absolutely. You can also put it that a salesperson is a complete 360-degree insurance person. A good salesperson, if you look at a professional agent, MDRT professional agent, I was making a presentation to my monthly team about the MDRT, which was talking about 35 years with MDRT. This person must be knowing everything of insurance, start from counter to claims, starting from counter to claims. He must be knowing everything, which many of our managers or directors don't know.
That's right. That's right.
So salesperson, insurance sales guy should be a 360-degree guy, 360-degree person.
Absolutely true, Mr.
Knowing everything from counter to claims.
Correct.
That's why I look at these salespeople. That's why I try to build them up.
And I think, Mr. Mano, you have gone through the amazing journey yourself to put this into an effect. And I honestly take away a lot from this session with you to understand.
Thank you so much.
That a person conducts their business, but the importance you mentioned earlier, that we are all public figures. And that is such a key part, that we are public people, we are in the eyes of our clients or our partners or stakeholders and whatnot. And the way that we project and represent ourselves, if I can put it in a nutshell, in a sentence, it's being a 360-degree insurance person in totality. And what you said is so true, sir. Counter to claims.
I have seen that. I sat in the counter collecting money. When I was posted as a management trainee in LIC, I sat in the counter collecting money from the customers and agents and writing the receipt books of them, and also go to the claims department. So the customer's journey in an insurance company starts with the counter and ends with the claims. He comes to pay the money, buy an insurance policy, and his relationship is there till it is a claim. Till it is a death claim or maturity claim or whatever. So from counter to claims, the journey of a customer, one salesperson has to understand it. Otherwise he cannot give justice to his job.
That's so true. And that is going to be the catalyst for them to sustain in the industry. And as what you had mentioned earlier in the sharing sessions, this is what leads them towards MDRT. If you're doing it year in, year out, consistently on a roll or whatnot, that's where you grow, because you know every end process.
Correct. Absolutely.
So, Mr. Mano, I would love to thank you for this. I'm sure we can go on more about this, but we are really looking forward to another session with you.
Sure, definitely. I'm always there to share my knowledge. I told these people also that I'm always available. Today is a holiday here. I have some people coming to the office just to talk to them about what you do. Yesterday I was in Manila. My PRM asking me that, boss, some questions are not related to job. No, how to sell insurance? No. She was asking me how to be sustainable in a corporate industry. You are working in corporate industry for the last 3 to 4 decades. How to be sustainable in a corporate? How to grow in this industry? How to sustainable in this? So these are the areas where, as I told you, I look at my people to develop them whether I came here in 2019. 3 years time, and people 2 years went because of the pandemic and situation out here. So now what I see to them, that I can add values to their life. It's not only business is definitely outcome. So that is what I'm looking at them. So my thought process, my journey of the last 30 years, what I understood, the road I traveled, I want to explain to everybody that this is the road. This is the time which I have to do. So nice talking to you, Kumar.
Likewise, Mr. Mano.
I always feel so good of talk to the people who, if I can add something to them, that's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mano. I truly appreciate your time that you've taken off on a Saturday. I really am very, very certain that the Insurance Collective and the audience have learned a lot. It's been a real treasure trove speaking to you today.
These are all my practical experiences. You see, you can do a lot of strategy sitting in their boardroom, but there are, as I told you, there are 2 different kind of managers that a building manager or a maintenance manager. There are also two different kind of managers, like whether you are a strategic person or you are an execution person. Or strategic or execution person. The combination will be very rare. You can find the combination of strategic person or execution person. Combination will be very rare.
That's true.
Very rare. Either you will be a strategic guy, sit in the head office and do all strategies, or you are execution guy. Don't do. So try to build the people who are a combination of both strategy and execution. Maybe somebody 60-40 or 30-70, doesn't matter. But I like to see that people develop their strategic and execution, both qualities in them as a manager.
Absolutely. I think that's a very befitting advice to the industry. And a vision that I'm sure will manifest with your team and of course with the entire community in Myanmar as well when it moves to financial literacy and awareness. So once again, thank you, Mr. Mano, and I'm really looking forward to more sessions with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.